Storms with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Monday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And, wow, that's all we can say this morning.
Yeah, bitter cold, and I mean, usually we factor in the wind chill because the winds are strong, but the winds are pretty calm this morning, but the temperature still very, very cold. Let's take a look at those conditions around the state right now. As I mentioned, we are 16 below in Rome, minus 26 up in Watertown. Bitter cold temperatures up there. Now notice yet farther south, you've got maybe some slightly warmer conditions. We're at 1 degree in Binghamton and 2 degrees in Ithaca. But notice here, if you see some of these weather stations reporting snowfall in Hamilton, Ithaca, and Rochester. Now as we take a look at the radar right now, as you can see, it's pretty dry. It doesn't look like anything's going on. And this is one of those things where you mentioned if it gets very cold out, sometimes snowfall will fall underneath the radar scans. And when we're, minus 16 degrees, that seems to be the case. And the reason we can, this is why we use multiple tools in meteorology. We don't rely on one because the radar shows nothing. I pull up the satellite feed and look at that. We have a lake effect band and some snow showers reported right along that very narrow corridor there. So again, we are tracking some lake effect in some locations south of the Mohawk Valley right here. And that includes, of course, the Madison County area and hilltops south and west of Utica. So aside from those locations reporting some snowfall early today, we're looking at still some pretty quiet conditions for the rest of us. Clear skies, sunshine, temperatures starting out in the negatives, climbing into the teens this afternoon. Now we are expecting a warm-up this week. Now how warm will we get? We'll dive into that, plus snowfall chances as well in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Oneida County Sheriff's
Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back, everybody, to News Channel 2 at sunrise on this Monday morning. Hope any of you tuning in maybe got some sleep after the Super Bowl. Well, I had to go to bed a little bit earlier last night. But nonetheless, here's a look at what you can expect this post-Super Bowl Monday if you're heading out to work or heading out to school. Either way, current conditions outside right now, bitter cold temperatures, minus 16, an Arctic feel in the air. Now, thankfully, there's really no wind chill along with this, too, which is definitely helping in terms of keeping that feels like temperature a little bit warmer. But nonetheless, we do climb into the teens today. That's really about as high as we get, but we are expecting some warmer temperatures. Yes, I'm the bearer of warmer news. I mean, we actually could even reach maybe above freezing. I wouldn't say a whole lot above freezing, but at least the Mohawk Valley might hit that range. So quite a difference compared to, say, the last month or so of cold weather. And we're also tracking a few snow chances the next few days, even some wintry mixed chances as well. So it's not going to be quiet. We've got some busy weather to look forward to, especially starting tomorrow afternoon and evening, and then lingering through the middle of the week. So again, today we have clouds increasing. We go above zero this afternoon. And again, as you see here, we have some lake effect to our south. Otherwise, pretty sunny conditions until those clouds continue to roll in as we head into the evening. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It was a frigid day on Sunday for the 10th annual Cardboard Classic.
Omni, cutting-edge surgery without the cutting.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now is going on 5:16, and we begin today bitterly cold, but mostly quiet. We look at the Europe 4 Battery Live radar, where much of the Mohawk Valley and north you've got completely clear skies and bitter cold conditions. A little bit different as you head down, say, in this corridor right here. I mean, we're talking maybe Syracuse through sections of Madison County. In fact, actually, I would say more so in this zone right here, too, due to some lake effect. And this is largely falling below the radar scans due to how incredibly cold it is. Minus 15 Hamilton, minus 8 Rochester. Heading into the Mohawk Valley, we're at minus 16 in Rome. A little warmer out in Johnstown, but up north, minus 23 Saranac Lake, and the coldest section of New York State right now, Watertown, at minus 26. So we look at the bigger picture here, and there's a couple of things to mention over the next couple of days. So while high pressure is pretty dominant today, we're going to start to see this ridge break down, at least producing the jet stream over top of us. And what that means is it's basically the highway of winds steering wintry systems into our area, bringing some snow chances Tuesday. Maybe some mixing in the Mohawk Valley to some warmer temperatures before some colder air works its way in. We have some lake-enhanced snow showers and at least some wraparound snow as well from that low pressure moving its way out toward the Atlantic. So that's the science-y part of the system. Let's talk about impacts. So zooming in today, we've got relatively quiet conditions. Again, that lake effect not really getting picked up on models because it does appear invisible, I guess, according to radars. With how cold it is. But nonetheless, that lake effect will taper off. It's pretty quiet this afternoon. Temperatures in the teens. Then by tonight, it's mostly cloudy. Lows still remaining in the teens. And then tomorrow, we're going to see some snowfall arriving. At least in the morning, it's dry, but a few flurries work their way in the afternoon, followed by a few more scattered snow showers. And you can see here, temperatures hovering into the near freezing point. Keep in mind, the last time we were above freezing was back in mid-January. So it's been quite a while since we hit 33, 34 degrees. We have still some lingering snow showers on the backside of this too. We'll closely track. And right now, just full transparency, I'm working on the snowfall map. The data is still downloading right now, so you can see here this is all happening on the fly as I'm getting new data coming in at this moment. But nonetheless, I'll give it to you in the next half hour. We're expecting some snow showers through Tuesday. A lot of that snowfall will be due to upsloping, so it will be mainly north of the Mohawk Valley, that accumulation there. And then it's not too bad temperature-wise, Gary. I mean, we're looking at 20s and 30s now, no longer single digits and negative double digits below zero.
We're turning the corner.
Hopefully.
Eric, thanks. Now to Miller's Mills and a tradition that starts again. And thank you for joining us for this half hour. Let's get right over to the Weather Center where Eric is tracking temperatures this morning right around 15 below, right, Eric?
Yeah, Gary, and that's not even the wind chills. That's the actual temperature this morning. Bitter cold to start your day. Let's take a look across the state here. So we're at minus 16 in Rome, minus 26 up in Watertown. Let's zoom in here. We look at the negative 20s up in the Adirondacks, in the negative teens in a lot of the Mohawk Valley. Minus 14 Little Falls, minus 12 in Washington Mills. Heading south, the temperatures varying tremendously, going from minus 12 in Sherburne to only minus 2 in Oneonta. So largely dependent on the clearing nature of the skies, because although the radar right now showing dry conditions, when I noticed that we were reporting snowfall in a few locations south and west of Utica, I looked at the radar and I'm thinking, well, it's still very cold out. Obviously, the snowfall is taking place underneath the radar scans. And of course, why in meteorology we use multiple tools for forecasting. This is the satellite feed. So instead of looking from the ground up, look from the sky down. And that case, we can see that lake effect band falling over sections of New York State, south and west Utica, of course, producing some of that lake effect. So those of you south and west could be seeing a few flurries this morning. That will taper off as high pressure continues to build and temperatures climb into the teens. Now, although today's weather is pretty dry, we are expecting some more snow chances this week and some warmer temperatures. We'll be diving into that coming up in that week ahead forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Today is
where we track storms. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Monday morning. Welcome back to the work week. And yes, we have another bitter cold start today. But this is about as cold of a morning as we'll get all week long. We're looking at some warmer temperatures, although we still are tracking some snow chances too over the next few days. But nonetheless, with how cold it was this weekend, I think some of you got to take advantage of the winter festivities. Yes, it was pretty nice out for the Miller's Mills Ice Harvest in West Winfield, and a great shot sent in by Diane of some horses enjoying the cold out there. Of course, with all the festivities this weekend, I mean, we're talking skiing, sledding, you name it, just enjoying the cold winter weather, because before you know it, the snow will melt and we'll be back to some warmer temperatures. So either way, amazing shot here by Diane. If you have a photo like this, you'd like to send to us. WKTV.com/weather/pics. Your photo of the day every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Gary?
What a shot that was.
I bet a lot of folks had some extra layers yesterday.
Oh my. Eric, thanks. Sectional Saturday.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Monday, we start out with quiet conditions for a lot of the Mohawk Valley and north as you head south and west to Utica, despite what the radar is showing us right now, which is completely dry conditions. We are tracking some snowfall falling underneath the radar scans reported in Hamilton, Ithaca, and in Rochester. Interesting, it's not really Syracuse. It must be slightly around the city itself. We're basically forecasting invisible snow right now. We can only look at it from satellites. And again, satellite feeds only have a certain amount of resolution here. So we're just looking at ground reports right now, which I guess in the process, Ithaca has stopped snowing. But nonetheless, bitter cold start today. We are in the teens here across much of central New York, or excuse me, in the teens below zero here in central New York. And as we look ahead throughout the day today, we will be climbing into the single digits eventually, mid-teens this afternoon. But clouds will increase as high pressure shifts eastward. And despite us having a ridge here in the Mohawk Valley, this is a pretty active pattern in terms of systems gliding along the jet stream here. So we do have a clipper system arriving on Tuesday, enough to actually produce maybe some mixing here in the Mohawk Valley. And then we have some trailing snowfall and some backside lake effect to look at too on Wednesday. So in the meantime, that's the sciencey part of the forecast here. Let's dive into the timing and everything you need to know impact-wise. So today, again, a bitter cold start. We climb to the teens. Clouds increase. It's a pretty quiet overnight tonight. And then tomorrow morning, we start out with cloudy skies. A few flurries work their way in the morning hours, and then we're going to see that widespread snow move in the evening with maybe even some mixing taking place here. Look at that, 33 degrees. Remember the last time we were above freezing? Got to go back to mid-January for that. Then we're going to see some backside lake effect snow, along with some wraparound snow showers as that low pressure shifts its way eastward. So let's talk about snowfall totals. I mentioned to those of you tuning in the last half hour, waiting for the data to come in. Well, here's the data right now, and it is kind of echoing our thoughts as we head into Tuesday evening. This is the general idea of snowfall. You can look at the scale right there, depending on location. But I'm going to zoom in more toward Tuesday night into Wednesday morning due to upsloping. Those areas here in the dark blue zones, 4 to 7 inches in that area north of the Mohawk Valley. A lot less as you head farther south. Now, this is just until Wednesday. We're going to wait for more data to come in before we put out that Thursday forecast, or Wednesday night into Thursday forecast for that lake effect. Because again, a lot of moving pieces here. And following that, there is some chances for some active weather toward the end of the week into the weekend. But the data is very inconsistent on the path of the storm. So for now, we're just going to put it on the 7-day forecast. We'll keep a close eye on it, but if anything does change in terms of any major impacts, we'll let you guys know. But again, snow chances the next couple of days, not a lot, but enough to at least coat some roadways and whatnot. So.
At least this bitter weekend is behind us.
Yes, the bitter cold is done. We're looking at 20s and 30s for the next week or so.
A nice change. Eric, thanks. Well, here in... But for residents of New York City, this cold snap is uncommon and even more dangerous.
These bent trees aren't lying. Strong winds sending a bitter blast throughout the city.
Freezing, it's freezing, but we have to make the best of it.
Joan O'Che was picking up warm food at St. Clement's Episcopal Church in Midtown. But a volunteer who goes by TT tells us during cold days like this, they're seeing fewer people come out to pick up food.
It says that there's a lot of people that we're not able to get to or that are not able to come here because of the weather. And they may be going without food, and that is a big concern.
For people like us, this is like a relief, great relief for us.
Also supplying relief are the warming buses and centers across the city, which Mayor Mamdani says are in more supply this time around.
I've never seen nothing like this before. This is amazing.
These mobile warming units are operating on what the mayor describes as a heightened capacity, increasing from 27 on Friday night to 33 by Saturday night.
Well, the warming buses is good for people that needs help in life, that's struggling, that's trying to get their housing right now.
Along with more buses, Mayor Zohran Mamdani announced the addition of at least 150 more outreach workers to get New Yorkers into newly added safe haven beds, expediting the opening of 64 new hotel shelter units in Queens and cutting the 311 wait time in half for housing insecure New Yorkers. The mayor visited firefighters on Staten Island Saturday.
Just on Staten Island, sanitation has melted more than 11 million tons of snow. This is all the work that city workers are doing in tandem with more than 550 outreach workers who are out there at all times of day to bring homeless New Yorkers inside.
City volunteers like TT also reminding New Yorkers that they aren't alone and that help is out there.
We're here to help you. Anytime, whatever you need, we're here to help you. We can do what we can.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Monday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
19 below, you said, huh?
Yeah, it just keeps dropping, Gary. The temperatures keep falling. And yeah, this is not even a wind chill as well. It's actual temperature. So we take a look at the current conditions outside right now. Officially, as I mentioned, 19 below. So if you're wondering, this is almost very uncommon territory for the Mohawk Valley to hit minus 19. If you're wondering, well, what is the record low temperature today? Well, you have to go back to 1934, and 1934, it was, let's see here, minus 34 degrees. So I think that record is probably safe. So, I mean, minus 34 in the Mohawk Valley. That is crazy cold temperatures. But and nonetheless, still a bitter cold start today. Still some lingering lake effect, despite it not showing up here in the radars. You can see here it's pretty quiet on the radar scans. We turn to another tool we use in meteorology, satellite, where you can see that narrow lake effect band right here. So this is the snapshot earlier this morning. The snowfall will be weakening over the next few hours. But nonetheless, still today, it's a bitter cold start. Some sunshine for a lot of us. That lake effect ending for some of you. And then we're going to see those temperatures climb into the teens with clouds increasing, setting the stage for some snow chances the next few days and some warmer temperatures. We're going to be looking at maybe 20s and 30s. So we might say goodbye to some of this Arctic wind chill or even Arctic temperatures. We'll dive into that forecast for snow and temperatures coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office is...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Monday morning. Time now is 6:10, and we begin today with a look at the current conditions and everything you need to know if you're heading outside in your forecast in a minute. Let's start out with a look at the current temperature, which has dropped a few more degrees compared to an hour or so ago, and now at 19 below zero. It is an incredibly cold start today. I think 19 below is probably the coldest we have reached in the past maybe couple of years, I think, in the Mohawk Valley. I'll do the research this morning, and you can tune into us here at noon for the latest numbers here. But nonetheless, it is a very cold start today. We will be climbing into the teens this afternoon. Clouds increasing, but we are expecting a bit of a warm-up this week. We're talking 20s, 30s. So much different compared to what we saw over the weekend and especially this past week or last week. And then we also are tracking some snow chances as well. So at least some busy weather the next few days. So again, today we're climbing into the teens with some sunshine turning to cloudy skies. And you can see here the clouds increasing as we head throughout the day today. Along with that, of course, the opportunities for some snowfall to arrive as early as tomorrow afternoon. Gary?
Thanks. It was a frigid day for the 10th annual Cardboard
Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Right now, time now going on 6:18, and it's a quiet but bitter cold morning out there today. Radar showing quiet conditions, at least some lake effect being reported as we head down into the southern valleys, Ithaca being one spot here. Now, behind the scenes, while I'm not on air, I'm just going into the research. I'm crunching the numbers here on the last time we hit minus 19 in Rome, or at least the Mohawk Valley. And I mean, I'm going back to 2023, 2022, and we're hitting minus 17, maybe even minus 18. But this might be something, a temperature we haven't seen in several years at minimum, which again, I'll keep diving into it to give you guys the official number here. I want to try to find it out by the end of the newscast. If not, it'll be here for News Channel 2 at noon. But nonetheless, we zoom in here. Negative 20s in the Adirondacks, negative teens in the Mohawk Valley, heading south, slightly warmer due to those clouds, still producing some insulation here. Minus 4 in Oneonta, minus 17 heading up to Hamilton itself. So what we're looking at the next few days, high pressure breaks down, although we are in a ridge pattern here, which usually brings quiet weather. When the jet stream is over top of us, that's a different story. This allows systems to glide along it. In this case, we have some snowfall from the west, and on top of that, we have some wraparound snow and some lake effect heading into Wednesday, some adding to some totals here heading into Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. But let's piece it together here in our Skycast. Today, it's quiet, sunshine, clouds increase throughout the day, and highs climb to the teens. Now tonight, it's in the teens as well, with dry weather. Tomorrow, maybe a few flurries in the morning hours, but the better shot for widespread snow moves in the afternoon. Now notice here, with the warm front rolling in, some spots might make it even into the 30s. So tomorrow afternoon, we could even see maybe some mixing taking place, some minor snowmelt possibly, but nonetheless, there will be some more snowfall on the backside of this as those temperatures dip down into the low 30s. This could be more of a, well, looking at 30s and 20s, more of a denser type snow. It's been very fluffy the past few days, but you can still see here some wraparound snow and some lake effect possible heading into Wednesday night and into Thursday. In terms of snowfall here, the latest data coming in shows what we were thinking about with this event here, upsloping being a major factor, at least Tuesday into Wednesday, where you can see a lot of that 4 to 7 inch range here in the dark blue zones. Of course, we'll talk about that Wednesday to Thursday forecast as we get more consistent data here, because temperature is still playing a key role, and on top of that, the path of the snowfall still up in the air. But either way, snowfall the next couple of days after a bitter cold start, Gary. We've got some warmer temperatures, so I don't think we're going to need some extra layers the next few days. I mean, I think hitting 0 degrees for the morning might be a balmy start.
Yeah, I think we've turned the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Finally. And here in central New York, these cold temperatures are nothing new, but for residents of New York City, this cold snap is uncommon and even more dangerous.
These bent trees aren't lying. Strong winds sending a bitter blast throughout the city.
It's freezing, but we have to make the best of it.
Joan O'Che was picking up warm food at St. Clement's Episcopal Church in Midtown. But a volunteer who goes by TT tells us during cold days like this, they're seeing fewer people come out to pick up food.
It says that there's a lot of people that we're not able to get to or that are not able to come here because of the weather. And they may be going without food, and that is a big concern.
For people like us, this is like a relief, great relief for us.
Also supplying relief are the warming buses and centers across the city, which Mayor Mamdani says are in more supply this time around.
I've never seen nothing like this before. This is amazing.
These mobile warming units are operating on what the mayor describes as a heightened capacity, increasing from 27 on Friday night to 33 by Saturday night.
Well, the warming buses is good for people that needs help in life, that's struggling, that's trying to get their housing right now.
Along with more buses, Mayor Zohran Mamdani announced the addition of at least 150 more outreach workers to get New Yorkers into newly added safe haven beds, expediting the opening of 64 new hotel shelter units in Queens and cutting the 311 wait time in half for housing insecure New Yorkers. The mayor visited firefighters on Staten Island Saturday.
Just on Staten Island, sanitation has melted more than 11 million tons of snow. This is all the work that city workers are doing in tandem with more than 550 outreach workers who are out there at all times of day to bring homeless New Yorkers inside.
City volunteers like TT also reminding New Yorkers that they aren't alone and that help is out there.
We're here to help you. Anytime, whatever you need, we're here to help you. We can do what we can.
Once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. Let's get right over to the Weather Center where, Eric, you're tracking temperatures this morning right around 15 below.
Yeah, and literally in the last hour or so, we've continued to see those temperatures plummet 19 below zero.
Oof.
Now, that's the official measurement taken every hour or so at Griffiths in Rome. We wait until maybe the next few hours, then Griffiths puts out their official low temperature recording over the last 6 hours. We'll get our official measurement here. But minus 19 in Rome. This is something I was diving into the numbers here. The last time we were this cold was minus 20 in 2019, and that was on January 22nd. Now, of course, you know, it's 6-7 years ago, but this is before I worked here. This is the coldest temperature we've had since I've started here at the station. So that's something of a celebration, or maybe a lack of a celebration for those who don't like the cold temperatures this morning. But nonetheless, it is a bitter cold start today. It is pretty dry here in the Yorkville Battery Live radar. Much of the Mohawk Valley and north, in fact, plenty of clear skies. But this morning we were seeing weather stations reporting snowfall, which was indicated by some lake effect cloud cover we could see here on the satellite feed. It was so cold, the radar picking up on no snow at all. But off camera here, I'm looking off screen, I can see the latest readings from that satellite, and it does appear to be weakening, which, again, the winds are not that strong this morning, so that's one of the benefits of weakening lake effect. But nonetheless, we're going to see those highs climb to the teens this afternoon with clouds increasing. Overall, pretty dry day, but we are looking at some snow chances and some warmer temperatures the next few days. We'll dive into those in that full forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Today is the next deadline to note.
2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
Welcome back to Sunrise here on News Channel 2. We begin this morning with our photo of the day, and this one is an amazing shot here of an amazing winter festivity here in our own backyards in West Winfield. Some of you were able to attend the Miller's Mills Ice Harvest. Really cool to get to see the old-fashioned ways of harvesting ice, which I think this winter time was definitely a winter where there was plenty of ice to spare here. And look at some of the workers weren't just people cutting the ice. You had some of these beautiful horses here helping out, dragging the ice block. So this is a photo sent in by Diane. Again, this was taken in West Winfield. Shout out to those of you in West Winfield this morning. If you have a photo like this showcasing your neck of the woods, events that go on in your area, with photos like this, any winter scenes as well. WKTV.com/weather/pics, a place to go. Your photo every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Utica Comets game this weekend was filled with characters. Star Wars characters. It was a Star Wars night.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Monday, it's a bitter cold start today in the negative double digits. We're not even talking wind chills, everybody. It is the actual temperature, which officially right now is still at -19. This will update in the next 5 to 10 minutes, so we'll provide you the update on that, whether we do get any colder. But again, as of right now, if you're just tuning in, the last time we hit a temperature like this or colder was back in 2019 of -20. That was January 22nd. So it has been quite a long stretch since before I started working here that we hit this temperature here at Griffiths and Rome. But nonetheless, bitter cold morning. A few clouds in the south, some lingering lake effect in Ithaca. Zooming in here, temperatures, we are ranging in the 20s and teens below zero in the Mohawk Valley. And then, of course, heading south, a little warmer due to that lingering cloud cover causing some insulation. Now, despite that lake effect not getting picked up on the radar due to how cold it is, we did see it on our satellite feeds. As you can see, that very narrow cloud band right there. Now, as we head throughout the day today, that lake effect will fizzle out. We're going to get more of a, I would say, I mean, it's still a northwest wind, maybe closer to a westerly wind, which will whisk away some of that lake effect. But nonetheless, the jet stream itself providing us with that northwest wind in the upper atmosphere, and then, of course, the highway of winds gliding along some snow chances the next few days. Both this is tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, through tomorrow night and into Wednesday as the backside of that low pressure slingshots across the northeast. So we look at the skycast here today. Pretty sunny to start in the Mohawk Valley. We're going to see those clouds increase throughout the day. And then as we head into the evening and overnight, still mostly cloudy and overnight lows in the teens. Tomorrow morning, we start out dry at 6 a.m., maybe a few flurries scattered throughout the morning, and a better shot for snowfall in the afternoon hours, with maybe even some mixing taking place in some areas here. You notice here 33 in Morrisville, that warm slot potentially working its way into the Mohawk Valley. But nonetheless, due to upsloping, this will produce some more snowfall to the north. And then we're going to see some lake effect, at least lake-enhanced snow showers and that wraparound snow possible heading into Wednesday. So stay tuned for updates on that. But at least for now, when it comes to snowfall totals heading into tonight, or excuse me, Tuesday night through Wednesday, as you can see here, this is pretty much all the snowfall by Wednesday morning. And again, due to upsloping, dark blue zones here, north and west, or north and east of Utica, seeing the most amount of snow. So stay tuned for updates on the trailing lake effect snow forecast. This is again just for the snowfall we'll be seeing for Tuesday night into Wednesday. But either way, it is going to be a pretty moderate stretch of weather. It's been so bitterly cold, Gary. 20s and 30s the highs now. So maybe break out the shorts.
Going to feel balmy.
Yeah.
Eric, thanks. A Pennsylvania man is
With Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Say it isn't so, but we're behind the negative temperatures finally.
Yes,
right?
yeah. We're finally starting to climb above zero, and I think this is the first time, or at least, probably the first time in quite a while, we're going to be seeing those conditions remaining above zero for quite some time. We look at the stats here, and I want to just do a quick recap where we were overnight. We officially hit -21, and I did some digging. The last time we were at this temperature or colder, we got to go back to 2018, and I was just I didn't quite look at it just yet. Had to get a refresher on what the world was like in 2018, because it's been so long, nearly 8 years. And then before that, February 14th in 2016, we were -28 degrees. Now, I was still a freshman in college in 2018, and I was still in high school in 2016. So this is nonetheless the coldest it's been since I started working here. And of course, the coldest has been in 8 to 10 years. So around the state, as Gary mentioned, we're finally climbing above freezing. We have actually climbed over 20 plus degrees since this morning. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day, despite it, of course, being very cold. The winds, thankfully, are not nearly as strong. You can see a lot of those temperatures here continuing to climb into the teens throughout the next few hours. Eventually, upper teens being the limit today, as, of course, that cold air mass is still present. But the radar is dry for now. Our next weather maker here, some snow showers arriving as early as tomorrow in the late morning. So again, we're seeing those temperatures remain in the teens through the single digits tonight. And then we have that snowfall as well as some warmer temperatures later this week. We will dive into that and the latest snowfall forecast with the newest data coming in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The man accused of abusing Eva the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. What a cold start, but things are starting to warm up. We are already in the single digits or teens, depending on where you are. We're also seeing some clouds increase from the west. They will not be that thick today. Still some wispy clouds here and there. So today, pretty sunny, just cold. As we head throughout tonight into much of tomorrow, we're going to see clouds increase even more, getting a bit thicker at times. And then we're going to see a few flurries tomorrow morning, followed by at least a round of some moderate snowfall in the late morning and early afternoon before we have some backside snow to track heading into Tuesday night into Wednesday. This is a very complicated system here. We have a warm front moving in, wraparound snow, and lake enhancement here. So a very convoluted forecast with a lot of different unique variables in terms of where the snow is coming from. So I'll do my best to explain the certainties, uncertainties, what we know and don't know, and of course, most importantly, the timing and impact. So let's begin with what takes place today, which is pretty quiet. Sunshine, clouds increasing tomorrow morning. A few flurries to start your day, but still impacts non-existent. Moderate impacts in the late morning and early afternoon. You see that right here, some moderate snowfall working through, enough to coat some roadways. So just a heads up tomorrow. Now, on top of that, we're actually going to be seeing the potential for some mixing taking place here with some lower elevations out west of Utica, seeing some of that temperatures climbing into the low 30s. So we'll keep that in mind, at least for now, though, still. Mainly a snow event. And then Wednesday, wraparound snow, lake effect. Still some uncertainty as the exact placement of that snow band. I'm going to wait for more data coming in tonight through tomorrow, but I'll give you guys an early heads up on our snowfall map. So this is our snowfall map from tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tomorrow evening. This is a higher confidence level. This is more due to upsloping, so we are fairly confident in the general ideas of this forecast here. Now, where there's more uncertainty as to what follows will be as we head into Tuesday night through Wednesday night. Notice here we have some snowfall from the Tug Hill Plateau, generally 2 to 4 inches, but we've got elevations, hilltops seeing 4 inches or more. There's a lot of variability with the data right now. So this evening or early tomorrow, we'll modify this a little bit to give you guys a heads up what we'll be expecting. But at least for now, again, this is not anything major. We're just kind of fine-tuning the exact placements of these snow bands and where the most snow will fall. But either way, timing-wise, expect impacts travel-wise Tuesday evening and afternoon. I would say more so afternoon hours at a moderate stage, and same thing throughout the day Wednesday, and then it does dry up again by Thursday. So that's the overall timeline, Gary, but more importantly, it's warming up. We're not seeing any below zero highs for the next week or so.
No below zeros on the entire 7 days.
Thank goodness.
What a change. Eric, thanks. Well, if you are looking for something to do with your...
Comes first, news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Say it isn't so, but we're behind the negative temperatures finally.
Yes,
right?
yeah, we're finally starting to climb above zero, and I think this is the first time, or at least, probably the first time in quite a while, we're going to be seeing those conditions remaining above zero
Yeah.
for quite some time. We look at the stats here, and I want to just do a quick recap where we were overnight. We officially hit minus 21, and I did some digging. The last time we were at this temperature or colder, we got to go back to 2018, and I was just I didn't quite look at it just yet. I had to get a refresher on what the world was like in 2018, because it's been so long, nearly 8 years. And then before that, February 14th in 2016, we were minus 28 degrees. Now, I was still a freshman in college in 2018, and I was still in high school in 2016. So this is nonetheless the coldest it's been since I started working here. And of course, the coldest has been in 8 to 10 years. So around the state, as Gary mentioned, we're finally climbing above freezing. We have actually climbed over 20 plus degrees since this morning. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day, despite it, of course, being very cold. The winds, thankfully, are not nearly as strong. You can see a lot of those temperatures here continuing to climb into the teens throughout the next few hours. Eventually, upper teens being the limit today, as, of course, that cold air mass is still present. But the radar is dry for now. Our next weather maker here, some snow showers arriving as early as tomorrow in the late morning. So again, we're seeing those temperatures remain in the teens through the single digits tonight. And then we have that snowfall as well as some warmer temperatures later this week. We will dive into that and the latest snowfall forecast with the newest data coming in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The man accused of abusing Eva the cat.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. What a cold start, but things are starting to warm up. We are already in the single digits or teens, depending on where you are. We're also seeing some clouds increase from the west. They will not be that thick today. Still some wispy clouds here and there. So today, pretty sunny, just cold. As we head throughout tonight into much of tomorrow, we're going to see clouds increase even more, getting a bit thicker at times. And then we're going to see a few flurries tomorrow morning, followed by at least a round of some moderate snowfall in the late morning and early afternoon before we have some backside snow to track heading into Tuesday night into Wednesday. This is a very complicated system here. We have a warm front moving in, wraparound snow, and lake enhancement here. So a very convoluted forecast with a lot of different unique variables in terms of where the snow is coming from. So I'll do my best to explain the certainties, uncertainties, what we know and don't know, and of course, most importantly, the timing and impact. So let's begin with what takes place today, which is pretty quiet. Sunshine, clouds increasing tomorrow morning. A few flurries to start your day, but still impacts non-existent. Moderate impacts in the late morning and early afternoon. You see that right here, some moderate snowfall working through, enough to coat some roadways. So just a heads up tomorrow. Now, on top of that, we're actually going to be seeing the potential for some mixing taking place here with some lower elevations out west of Utica, seeing some of that temperatures climbing into the low 30s. So we'll keep that in mind, at least for now, though, still. Mainly a snow event. And then Wednesday, wraparound snow, lake effect. Still some uncertainty as the exact placement of that snow band. I'm going to wait for more data coming in tonight through tomorrow, but I'll give you guys an early heads up on our snowfall map. So this is our snowfall map from tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tomorrow evening. This is a higher confidence level. This is more due to upsloping, so we are fairly confident in the general ideas of this forecast here. Now, where there's more uncertainty as to what follows will be as we head into Tuesday night through Wednesday night. Notice here we have some snowfall from the Tug Hill Plateau, generally 2 to 4 inches, but we've got elevations, hilltops seeing 4 inches or more. There's a lot of variability with the data right now. So this evening or early tomorrow, we'll modify this a little bit to give you guys a heads up what we'll be expecting. But at least for now, again, this is not anything major. We're just kind of fine-tuning the exact placements of these snow bands and where the most snow will fall. But either way, timing-wise, expect impacts travel-wise Tuesday evening and afternoon. I would say more so afternoon hours at a moderate stage, and same thing throughout the day Wednesday, and then it does dry up again by Thursday. So that's the overall timeline, Gary, but more importantly, it's warming up. We're not seeing any below zero highs for the next week or so.
No below zeros on the entire 7
thank
days.
goodness.
What a change. Eric, thanks. Well, if you are looking for something
News with Kristen Copeland and Jason Palace.
We got a little bit of relief from the bitter cold this afternoon with rising temperatures in the sun, but not before. Several schools delayed opening because of it.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is tracking what's to come.
Well, we are tracking some snow, which is a change of pace because it's been so cold this weekend. The snow is actually part of a push of some warmer weather, so we do get that. Current temperature 16 degrees, and yes, that is a cold day, but after the weekend, this is a lot warmer. It's a lot warmer than this morning, too. In fact, we're 36 degrees warmer than we were this morning, 37 degrees actually. We were 21 below at Griffiths and Rome. That's the coldest since January 1st, 2018. Another notable cold stretch, Valentine's Day of 2016, we were 28 below zero. So we're no strangers to this level of cold, but it's been a couple of years since it's been this cold here, getting that cold at night. And again, that's not the wind chill, that's the air temperature. Although these days there really isn't much of a difference. We do have some snow on the way for tomorrow. We're expecting a general 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. We also expect to see more snow on Wednesday. The early call is 2 to 4 inches of snow. So the weather is going to be somewhat busy here over the next 48 hours. This evening, though, it is quiet. If you are heading out just dealing with the cold, temperatures will be in the teens this evening, mostly cloudy skies. It will not be as bone-chilling cold tonight. But again, we are tracking some snow here. We're looking at the travel impact of this, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Slocum Dixon Urgent.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We are tracking warmer weather in our future. It's been a very, very cold stretch this weekend. We bottomed out at 21 below zero this morning at Griffiths and Rome, and that's been the coldest start to the morning we've seen all season long. And looking ahead, we're going in a very different direction. It's going to get a lot warmer here, or I should say a lot less cold. Live looking downtown Utica, it is cloudy. We saw plenty of sunshine today. That is one of the benefits of some of this very cold air. It's very dry, and we get a lot more sunshine than we typically do in the wintertime. Clouds will return, though, as our next weather system approaches. It is dry this evening. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It'll stay dry tonight, but heading into tomorrow, snow returns. It starts out late in the morning, becomes steadier in the afternoon and evening. I'm not seeing big impacts here, but there will be a few slippery spots to be had with a steady accumulation throughout the day. Temperatures will be warming up. We're in the teens this evening. Dolgeville 16, Little Falls 18, Westernville 19 degrees. Across Southern Valley, Sherburne 21, Morris 21, Cooperstown 18. It will not be as cold tonight, and two reasons. One, clouds are moving in, and that's going to help create a blanket, keeping temperatures from falling. And then number two, the wind direction is changing. It's pushing all that Arctic air out. We've seen the temperatures rise today. That trend is going to continue over the next couple of days. While that is happening, that transition is happening, that's what creates precipitation, this process. We call this overrunning. And the next weather system will be playing a big part in that. This will bring us some widespread steady light snow. It's another clipper. This will be arriving tomorrow. Again, tonight it's looking dry. We're down into the single digits. Snow breaks out tomorrow morning, right before daybreak. And again, it's very light in the morning. I'm not expecting any big traveling issues early in the day. By the afternoon, it becomes a different story. Steady snow, not super heavy, but enough to cause some slippery travel. And this will continue into tomorrow evening. Temperatures will be in the 20s in the Mohawk Valley and 30s south of the Mohawk Valley. We do get some light snow showers in for Wednesday, but before we get there, let's talk about snowfall accumulation tomorrow. So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow, a general 1 to 3 inches of accumulation across the Mohawk Valley, southern valleys, north of the Mohawk Valley, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Wednesday, the snow continues. We're going to see wraparound lake effect snow, and it's going to be widespread. It's steady, and it will continue into Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. And for most of us, it actually produces slightly more snow Wednesday compared to Tuesday. We're thinking a general 2 to 4 inches region-wide, 4 to 6 inches north of the Mohawk Valley, less as you head across the southern valleys away from Lake Ontario. We're watching another system here for early next week. Jury's still out as to whether or not it'll bring us snow or not, but it is something we'll be watching. Cloudy skies tonight, 6 degrees, positive 6. Snow tomorrow, 28 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Temperatures climb to near 30 Wednesday. Will dry out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A nice stretch of weather. It's going to feel a lot warmer. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s and 30s as opposed to lower single digits.
So I got to look forward to 20s and 30s is what you're saying.
It'll feel warm.
It will. You're right. You're absolutely right. And to breathe fresh air.
Yeah, right.
Looking ahead to we've reached the point in the winter we're seeing freezing. 32 degrees would actually be welcome news.
And we may get there this week. Let's get you back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
We're going to get close. Whether or not we actually hit 32 or not, it's going to be very, very close. I think there's going to be a better chance maybe by the weekend. Either way, this is much, much, much warmer than the past 2 weeks. We've been in the teens, the 20s, and of course over the weekend we were only in the lower single digits. So temperatures are going to be 50 degrees warmer here tomorrow afternoon and into Wednesday. But we do have some light snow that will go along with that. And as we look ahead, temperatures are going to stay in the 20s and 30s. In fact, the long-range outlook is showcasing a possible thaw as we head into the middle of February. So definitely heading in a different direction for now. We'll see how long that lasts. But again, winter is beginning to be on borrowed time as we head into the second half of February. The average temperature is on its way up one way or the other. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's quiet. We're expecting some light snow to break out tomorrow, but tonight the weather looks quiet. Temperatures will be in the teens. If you do have to take the dog for a walk, make it a short one. It's not going to be as severely cold as the weekend, but it's still pretty cold. Tonight's featured dogs, Miles and Vincent from Fort Plain. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. As the 25th Winter Olympics.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We continue to track a warm-up here as we head into the rest of the week, but it does come with some snow. A live look in downtown Utica. Yes, today was a cold day, but relatively speaking, it's not as cold as yesterday. We've made a pretty significant dent in the very frigid temperatures here. We got into the teens this afternoon. Yesterday, Saturday, we were only in the lower single digits to below zero. Again, that was the air temperature. The wind chill was much, much colder. Not dealing with that tonight. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's dry. One thing you might have noticed, the abundant sunshine we've had over the weekend. This is because it's been so cold, and it's not just the cold weather, but also the fact that the Great Lakes are freezing over. We've been seeing ice cover on Lake Erie and Huron. Lake Ontario is still open, but what's happening here is that as weather systems move across the Great Lakes, they're not able to pick up as much moisture to the Great Lakes to the west. So the impact in central New York typically means more sunshine, at least relatively speaking. This part of winter is usually extremely cloudy. It's very common to go weeks and weeks of time with very little sunshine, but you might have noticed that it's been very, very different here this year. Temperatures are going to climb into the upper 20s tomorrow. In fact, we could hit 30 degrees in areas outside the Mohawk Valley as our next weather maker approaches. Skywatchers checking in. It was a very cold start this morning, coldest so far this year. Mike New Hartford 17 degrees, Cassville 13, Old Ford 16 degrees, Skidivas with 23. We have a clipper moving in from the west. This is going to bring widespread light snow to central New York. This will be arriving tomorrow. Tonight, cloudy skies, overnight lows in the single digits above zero. We're looking at steady snow Tuesday. It starts out very light in the morning and then it becomes steadier throughout the day. Temperatures will be in the 20s in the Mohawk Valley and 30s south of the Mohawk Valley. We expect an inch or two of snow throughout the day tomorrow across the Mohawk and southern valleys. North of the Mohawk Valley, 3 to 6 inches of snow, a little bit of what we call upslope snow with that south wind. There's more snow for Wednesday as we get some wraparound lake-enhanced snow that continues throughout the day. And on Wednesday, tomorrow night through Wednesday, we're expecting an additional 2 to 4 inches of snow. So we get a long duration, light, steady snowfall. It does have an impact on the roads, primarily late tomorrow. Again, it's not a big deal, but it's been a while since we've been seeing steady snow here. And also, too, this is not the really fluffy snow that we've been seeing with such cold weather. Temperatures are going to be warmer, so the snow is going to be slipperier than what we've seen in the past. Something to watch for next week. There's some signals that we may be dealing with some snow here in the Monday timeframe of next week. We'll let you know how that plays out. It's still a week away. Cloudy skies tonight, 6 degrees. Tomorrow, temperatures in the 20s with steady snow. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather remains on the warmer side, again, relatively speaking. We're in the upper 20s Thursday, Friday. We're into the low 30s for Valentine's Day weekend. And the weather looks pretty quiet. Again, tracking some rain and snow possible as we look ahead to next Monday. We'll be right back.
Whether you're looking to sell your gold and news with Kristen Copeland and Jason Palace.
It was so cold today it felt like harassment, but the sun did eventually come out.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis is tracking what to expect for the rest of this week. Bill, good evening.
Well, we're heading in a very different direction. Finally, we are not going to be talking about this level of cold for a while. How cold? It got down to 21 below zero this morning. While that didn't break a record, and that can be a little frustrating sometimes, especially when it's this miserable. It's been the coldest we've been in a long time. You got to go back to 2018. That we were 22 below zero. That was on January 1st. We've had some cold days in the past too. You go back to Valentine's Day, 28 below zero. That was in 2016. Current temperature 16 degrees. It is 37 degrees warmer now than it was this morning, but it's still pretty cold out there. We're going to be warming up over the next couple of days. We do have some snow in our future. It begins tomorrow. A general 1 to 3 inches of accumulation is expected. The snow looks to be steady. Some heavier totals as much as 3 to 6 inches north of the Mohawk Valley. Snow is also expected tomorrow night into Wednesday as a clipper rolls through. We'll pick up another 2 to 4 inches of snow on Wednesday. Again, we're looking at pretty quiet conditions for now, but again, that's going to change. The weather will warm up. Tonight we're into the teens. Tomorrow, temperatures back into the 20s. We're tracking how this snow impacts the evening, the morning and evening commute, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Slocum Dixon urgent.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. The weather finally turning less cold. It's going to be much more noticeable over the next several days. Today was a step in the right direction. Still in the teens out there tonight, looking dry, alive looking downtown Utica. The weather remains pretty quiet overnight. We will not be as cold tomorrow morning as we were this morning. By the way, today, in today's weather history, Utica sets the all-time record lowest temperature recorded. That was 34 below zero on this date back in 1934. That's also when the New York State record of 52 below zero was recorded in Stillwater. Recall that this also happened in Old Forge, 52 below in the 1970s. Things look pretty quiet out there tonight. The weather looks dry overnight, but tomorrow, light snow returns. We're tracking a clipper that brings steady snow to central New York. The impact will be slightly higher in the afternoon and evening. Not seeing any huge impacts here, but steady snow is to be expected with an inch or two of accumulation throughout the day. The Great Lakes continue to ice over, except for Lake Ontario, which remains open. And this is going to impact our weather. As the next clipper rolls through, it doesn't produce as much snow as it would have if those Great Lakes were not frozen. But we will still be getting some snow here over the next 2 days. Whitesboro, 18 degrees. Cassville, 13. Barneveld checking in with 14 degrees. Alder Creek, 15. Donna and Norway with 16. Skinebus, 23. Edmonston, 18. This push of warmer weather comes with a clipper. And again, that's going to be producing some light snow through the process of what's called overrunning. It means that the warmer air is allowing for snow to be produced. And again, that happens tonight, or I should say tomorrow. Tonight looks dry. Temperatures drop down into the single digits. Tomorrow, snow breaks out in the morning. It's very light, but it does become steady throughout the day. Temperatures will be in the 20s in the Mohawk Valley, low 30s south of the valley. This will continue into tomorrow night and Wednesday. The snowfall forecast for tomorrow looks to be a general 1 to 3 inches of accumulation across the Mohawk Valley and southern valleys, 3 to 6 inches possible north of the Mohawk Valley. Snow continues tomorrow night and into Wednesday. As this clipper moves to the east, we do see some lake-enhanced snowfall in its wake, and that's going to produce another 2 to 4 inches of accumulation between tomorrow night through Wednesday evening. So it's another 24-hour accumulation here. Bottom line is, expect snow for the next 2 days. It's widespread, it's steady. It's not going to cause any huge issues, but again, it will be around here over the next couple of days. We're also watching early next week, too, some signals of additional snow. Tonight, 6 degrees, cloudy, 6 degrees above zero. Snow tomorrow, 28 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Temperatures will be in the 20s. It's relatively quiet Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we warm up into the low 30s. Some rain and snow possible Monday.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6, the top 6 at 6. Time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Expecting some snow tomorrow. Depends on where you live again.
Well, we'll all get snow, but areas to the north will be getting a little bit more. In this case, we're talking about the difference between some slippery roads and areas where we're really not going to see a huge impact. That would be in the Mohawk Valley and southern valleys. Still, it's been a while since we've seen steady snow, at least a couple of days, I should say. It's been a very cold and generally dry stretch of weather as of recent. We will be seeing this snow move in tomorrow. It starts in the morning. It doesn't really pick up until the afternoon, and that's when we can expect to see a few slippery spots. Current temperature 12 degrees, cloudy skies. It's still cold out there, but it won't be as cold tonight as it was this morning. Snow returns tomorrow. It starts out generally light, and it will pick up in intensity as we head into Tuesday afternoon. Snow continues through Wednesday. There's no sign of this bitter cold returning anytime soon. It looks like we'll get a break from the really, really cold stuff that we experienced over the weekend. Cloudy tonight, we're down into the single digits. We expect some snow to break out tomorrow morning. We're tracking accumulations through Wednesday. Also, we'll look at how this impacts the morning and evening drive. Look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Following a massive house fire.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. The weather looking pretty quiet tonight, but it's going to change tomorrow. We have some light snow on the way as our next clipper approaches from the west. Live look in downtown Utica. Not much going on. What you're seeing here on the radar isn't making it to the ground. We have really dry air in place. So it's going to take most of the night for this to arrive. In fact, it doesn't start snowing until tomorrow morning. A little bit of light snow early in the day. Steady snow in the afternoon and evening. We are looking at a bit of a warm-up to go along with this as well. Now, the Great Lakes are freezing over. Lake Ontario remains open, but we've got substantial ice cover on Lake Huron and Lake Erie. This does play a role in our weather, a couple of things. One, we do see more sunshine because the Great Lakes are not producing as much cloud cover. And then number two, the clippers that do arrive don't produce as much snow as they did just a couple of weeks ago. Remember, these clippers would be producing a foot of snow. This one's going to be a much smaller amount. Again, as we look to the north and west, we've got light snow on the way. The snow breaks out tomorrow morning. Temperatures will drop into the single digits tonight. Again, light snow is around tomorrow for most of the day. It's steady enough to make some tricky travel, but I'm not expecting any big issues. Temperatures will be in the 20s in the Mohawk Valley and lower 30s south of the Mohawk Valley. We expect to see accumulations in the order of about 1 to 3 inches during the day. The snowfall takes us through 7 p.m. 3 to 6 inches possible across the North Country, where there's going to be a south wind and what we call upslope snow. Again, that's a very common signature with a clipper system. Now, the snow continues into Wednesday. In fact, steady snow tomorrow night into Wednesday. Some lake effect snow. Temperatures will be in the upper 20s. And in terms of additional snow, again, this is Tuesday night, Wednesday into Wednesday evening, an additional 2 to 4 inches of accumulation from the Mohawk Valley south. North of the Mohawk Valley, Boonville, Old Forge, 4 to 6 inches of snow. We are watching a weather system that could bring us snow early next week. This is getting a lot of attention online. At this point, jury's still out as to where this is going. This is a week ahead of time, so we'll be watching this and giving you more information if needed as we get closer. 6 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, steady snow, a high of 28. Again, it's generally light, but it could still cause some problems. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. 30 degrees Wednesday. It stays much warmer this week. We're going to go from the single digits over the weekend to the 30s for the most part heading into next weekend. So
running weather.
It's going to be.
It's going to feel like it anyway.
You know, in some cases, compared to this morning, almost 50 degrees warmer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Well, 3 west. Time for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Watching some snow coming our way tomorrow, and somebody everywhere is going to see some.
Yeah, we've got this widespread snowfall for tomorrow, and it's also kind of a push of warm weather. So we trade the frigid air for some snow, and most of us pick up at least 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. This is through tomorrow evening. There's more snow expected tomorrow night as well as Wednesday. This is all part of a clipper, an area of low pressure approaching from the west. Pretty quiet out there tonight. Just a few snow showers showing up on the radar. These are not making it to the ground. The air is too dry. Current temperature is 12 degrees, dew point's 2. This is cold, but again, it's not as cold as it was this time yesterday when we were already 10 degrees below zero. Snow returns tomorrow. It's light and generally steady throughout the day, and this continues through Wednesday. No sign of that bitter cold returning anytime soon. We do get a break from the really cold days, at least for the next week. Cloudy skies tonight, low temperature of 6. Temperatures tomorrow back into the 20s. Again, some late snow. We're taking a look at how this affects the morning and evening commute coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Following a massive house.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It's quiet out there tonight, but we do expect to see some snow tomorrow. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. There's some hints that snow is showing up here. A lot of this is happening aloft and it's not making it to the ground, but it is hinting at what will be taking place tomorrow as a clipper moves in from the west. Now, the snow starts out very late tomorrow, but it does become steady throughout the day, and it's enough where I think it's going to cause a couple of travel issues, especially in higher elevations north of the Mohawk Valley. It's not a big snow event, but it is going to be enough where you're going to want to take heed here and slow down and give yourself a little bit of extra time getting home from work or school. The ice coverage continues to expand. The really cold weather we've had over the weekend is creating more ice on Lake Ontario, Erie, and Huron. We've noticed the biggest increase in ice cover on Lake Huron. While Ontario is still open, I'm bringing this up because this is having an effect on the weather. It's giving us more sunshine as we get less lake effect cloud cover. And also, the lakes are not generating the same amount of energy and amount of moisture that they did before. So these clippers that are moving in, they still produce snow, but the punch isn't quite as strong as it was a few weeks ago. Next clipper moves in tonight, and again, it does produce widespread snow tomorrow. We're dry tonight. Overnight lows drop into the single digits. Snow begins tomorrow morning. It's very light initially, but it does become steadier as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures will be in the 20s in the Mohawk Valley and low 30s along the higher elevations south. Snow continues into the evening time. We're expecting a general 1 to 3 inches of accumulation by 7 p.m. So what falls in the morning, afternoon, and evening will amount to a couple of inches for most areas. North of the Mohawk Valley, there's going to be what we call upslope snow, where the winds are carrying more snow to higher elevations north of the Mohawk Valley. Snow continues tomorrow night and into Wednesday. We're going to see some wraparound lake effect snow, and that's going to produce additional accumulation. We're thinking an additional 2 to 4 inches of snow tomorrow night and Wednesday, so that's a 24-hour accumulation. Again, it's not going to cause any big problems, but again, it will cause some slowdowns on the roadways Steadiest snow looks to fall north of the Mohawk Valley. We're also watching early next week. We're getting some signals way down the road that there may be more snow to come, a possible coastal storm. But again, it's so far into the future that we definitely going to have to get you caught up with this as we head throughout the week. Cloudy tonight, low of 6. Tomorrow, snow, temperatures in the upper 20s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Snow continues Wednesday, 30 degrees. Notice it is a lot warmer heading into the weekend. Temperatures will be in the low 30s, looking dry for Valentine's Day. And even at night, you are seeing, or you're not seeing, negative numbers. We stay above 0 all week.
You guys were showing the numbers earlier through the weekend where it hasn't been this cold. I think it was Sunday. It wasn't that cold since, what, 2018?
2018, this morning was
This morning. It was
yes.
this morning, yes. That's cold. I mean, I can remember, but we haven't had that bone chilling in a long time.
We get the cold, but this level, it's unusual to get to 20 below 0.
Glad to see it gone for now.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Bill. Coming up next.